Yo, what's up? It's your man Munir from marketingwithmunir.com for this week chart analysis. I'm going to start off with the Bitcoin, as you've all heard it before. But before I get started, I want you to quickly read this risk disclaimer, pause it, read it, then play it back. Hopefully you should have done that by now. Now I'm going to get started. I'm going to keep this video short as possible, to the point, giving you all the setup for this weekly, and also show you exactly what's happening in Bitcoin and what could possibly be the next move. Let's see what happens. So what I'm looking at right now, let me just get rid of this. What I'm looking at right now in front of me is the actual Bitcoin BTC USD daily chart. Okay, big massive drop happened. It went to about 7.5. What was it? About 7.5k drop from all the way from near enough 19 coming down all the way to 7k. There was some sort of a key level around here. I see another key level at this middle point right here, and a key level right here. Now what I could see is some sort of rejection. We've seen this before right here as well. Kind of rejected it in that sort of area here. Kind of rejected it, but never really done much. Kind of consolidated before dropping down again. Rejected it. Pushed it from 7.5 back to where it is right now, which is about 8.5. So let's see in the smaller time frame, because we don't have that much data, I can't really say much. But if I just zoom out a bit, you'll see a little bigger picture here. 1 second, let me just try to move that back so you can see it. Let's go back from right. Actually, you know what? Try zoom in so you can see the bigger picture, right? From that point there, that drop, pull back up, consolidation, not exactly consolidation, pull back down, back up again, and from there we've been having a downtrend till this area here towards the bottom where it is right now. I don't know if you could see this properly, but okay, let me just move that back. You know what, you could see that drop, pull back, drop is made a long, the body's a bit too big. I wouldn't say that's a proper pin bar, but what I think might happen, if this pin bar holds, the price will at least go back towards this area here, back up towards 13k, around 12-13k. It'll go back up at what I'm thinking, because there's not much there, I can't really say much. But let's see what happens. If this pin bar holds, we might see it go back up, then carry on dropping down again, or consolidate around this area. That's what we could probably see. If not, if this pin bar doesn't remain and it breaks that key level at the bottom, about 7.5, that bottom of that wick, then we could see it carrying on going down. There's not really much that you could do. We might see it consolidate just like it did in these zones around here as well, just like it did there. If that holds, you could see it go back up. Maybe you might push it back all the way up again. I honestly don't know. There's not much data. I personally say to a lot of people, if you can avoid it because it's so volatile. And I've seen a lot of people kind of blown up their accounts trading this, even with a small lot size as 0.01 as well, trying to buy into this market, and you just see it carrying on dropping. But that's Bitcoin there. Let's get started with Euro USD. I've kind of analyzed it, and I've kind of changed it around according to what that market's actually doing. If you actually see the bigger picture, let's go to the monthly chart. We could see it going up from after that pullback. We see it going up. What we might see is a pullback towards that zone before it goes up or carries on going up. It's still an uptrend for me. If that makes a bit more sense. We want to see it go back down, and we want to be buyers along that side there. So that's sort of like the strategy that we're following. Breakdown, back to key support, shoot back up again. Daily chart, That's exactly what we're looking at. So for short-term traders, if you want to start selling, that could be a good sell because of that pin bar. Still not broken, it's still valid. It could carry on going up, but I want to see a deeper retracement, at least to this area. Even if I see a price action just before that, a dynamic support, then I'm probably going to be buyers with that. Let's see how that one goes. Moving on to the next chart, I've got the GBP USD set up. Now, we did see that sort of pin bar kind of rejecting that area there, but to be honest, I would like to see a deeper retracement, come back down from that zone. What I want to see actually is this. It's a big zone here, because I'm going to stay a buyer with the previous trend. If I look at the bigger picture, the monthly chart, you'll probably see it come down to that area there. Yes, around there. If I give you the weekly chart here, we can see it come down. If you see a deeper retracement to that area towards the bottom, we could be around this area. I would be a buyer towards there as well. For short, I don't know if the price will come towards that area. This is why I don't sell. This pin bar could just push it back up and carry on as a bit as an uptrend. So I would like to see a deeper retracement. If I see it come in this zone and it gives me a daily price action rejecting, or if it's something nice that really pops out, then I'm gonna get into buys with that, buying along to the highs of that, at least around there. Let me just make a line there so you guys could see, at least towards that area, because it rejected it a couple of times. If you go to the 4-hour area, then you could kind of see it a bit better. But I would like to see it come to the bottom before I start buying again. Moving on to the next chart is the AUD USD. Now, I'll be honest with you, I actually took this trade as well. I took that pin bar there and it literally failed on me. And yeah, and that's normal, that's part of the game. I thought that was probably a fakie. Normally a fakie, you wait for the break of the high before you buy. And I thought if I get into that, I might get in early. It was a big risk. The body was a bearish body. It wasn't a bullish body. So I did have a little bit of doubts there as well, but I was seeing it rejecting dynamic support as well as near-term support around here. Could you see around there? I thought this could play off. It was a good trade for me, but it just didn't go my way. And that's normal. You know, you will fail, you will lose, but you just have to, you know, control your emotion, not jump back in again and just wait for the next setup. Now, the way I'm going to play this is, there's two ways of playing this. I could go a little bit more aggressive, because if price is dropping, because that drop there was a big drop, just like 120, about 120 pips for AUD. If I see a pullback without any price rejections at the moment, I might even get in the smaller time frame, selling it towards at least to these sides here. So if I see a deeper retracement back, let me just go into the smaller time frame to make a bit more sense. Okay, what I might do, I'll just draw it out a little bit. Excuse me. So I could see sort of like that level there. 1 second. If you could see those sort of levels here, I could see sort of that low from there. So if I see a retracement or price come back up towards, sort of like, if I could make it easier, around this area, and see a nice price action in that area that wants to go down, I'd probably sell and aim probably to whatever the lowest is, probably here, or whichever one's going to look suitable for me at that time, depending on how much the price moves down, then comes back up towards that area. Could be low as that as well. If my 1 to 2 is there minimum, and if I might trail it just to this sort of area around here. I don't know yet. I need to see how price moves up before I could decide that as well. But I might, it depends on the way the price moves as well. If the price moves good, then definitely going to get in there, because it's coming towards that area there as well. It kind of makes sense to me, not in the daily chart, but if I go into the bigger time frame, it makes sense to me, and if I pull out the fibs there from that low to that high, and I've sort of like got the 60 between the 50 and 61.8. Let me just go into the bigger time frame around the 50 and 61.8. So it makes more sense to me to actually be a buyer around those sides in that area. Let me just correct this a little bit around the bottom of that, if that makes sense. Between there, if I see a price action rejecting the top, bottom, or anywhere around here, then I could be definitely be a buyer. I'm still looking for an uptrend, but as it has reached a high as well, it might not give a price action here. If it does, it might be for a short-term pull-up, but I'm still biased with that as well because of that pullback. Because of that strong uptrend, and I could see a deeper pullback towards the key area. Let's see how it goes. It all comes down to how the price actually moves towards you. And that's what I normally look at. See that bigger picture there? Okay, let me just get rid of that. Moving on to the next chart, New Zealand USD. Okay, that pin bar there, because I was actually thinking about it as well, what I'm gonna do. This is a very good, it could be a reversal. Honestly, I don't know yet, but it does look like there's a possible reversal. If there's not, at least I'm gonna try be safe towards that key area there. That makes more sense in the weekly. Let me just use the fibs on this one. With the fibs, I'm looking at about 50 to 61 around there as well. So I'm still in the safe side. I'm actually gonna look for a sell or another pin bar, or trade with us. Actually, what I'll do is, the way you trade in the smaller time frames is this. So for you guys who are more aggressive traders, I see this level, sorry, it's not the straightest line, but this sort of level as a key level around here, between sort of like that area. What I would like to see, price go down a bit, pull back up, give me a sell signal around there for me to sell towards that sort of zone there. If my 1 to 2 is there, depending on how much it pulls back as well, I'll probably get into that one as well. It's a bit aggressive, but it's worth it. If that is the reversal at the top there, then you'll get it with the trending market for the short term. So it makes sense to me. For those who are more safe traders, I would literally wait just like me. But this one does look good, so I wouldn't mind selling that around this area, just to that sort of area there. So I'll probably see what the next price does here. If it kind of consolidates and gives me a price action to go down, probably go down because of this pin bar rejecting that area right there. It might go back down, but if it does come down here, you could look to be buyers or look for a price action buy signal around here. Obviously, if it breaks that, then you're looking at continuation towards the next key levels and the next so on to there as well. Let's make that there. But I really believe that it's going to go up. I've seen the market do that so many times. Just like that, when it goes up, it rejects, comes halfway down. Okay, halfway down around here, then goes back up again. So it might come halfway down here to again, then probably push back up again. So that's what I'm looking at, the New Zealand USD. Okay, USD JPY is a little tricky one today. After it closed, I see a dynamic rejection, but it's not the best rejection. Around there, I have put a sell zone around the top here because it made more sense in the higher time frames, sort of that area, and it's in the dynamic as well. That could be a possible reversal. I call that a double B, where you get a strong down and a strong up, but normally a strong up should be closing above that strong down. So let's see what exactly happens at this area, because I do see a little rejection, not the perfect rejection. I could see the price probably push down and push back up again in the monthly. I'm still at the sell level around this area here, but what I want to see for short term, I want to be a buyer. So let me just show you how I'm going to do this. They're quite easy to trade if you know the strategies. It's quite easy. It's simple as I can see some sort of a key level around there, rejection here, rejection here, a break up, which it did. Could you see that break up? I don't know how high. Could this be the top? It could go a little bit more higher. We don't know yet. But when we see a deeper retracement back towards this area and gives us a price action, we could be biased back towards, well, it depends. It could be around this level, could, you know, hold, but we're aiming towards this level, so I would assume it'll go to that level. If you see a nice price action buy or rejections or a doji or some sort of price action, we'll be biased around that sort of level there with that short-term 4-hour time frame. 1 hour, if you're more smaller time, you know, you're looking about that side, just say around that area there. Just makes more sense. So if it comes around here, you could be buying around that area. So if I put it in the 4-hour, it kind of makes sense there as well. So buy around this area back towards the top. Aim for 1 to 2. If you want to be a bit more aggressive, 1 to 3 risk reward. See how it goes. It all comes down to how the price comes down and how the price action is formed, sort of like that sort of doji or a pin bar there facing the other way for a buy. Something that's more clear and really wants me to go up. If not, I want to see the price come towards the top and I could be seller from here from the daily chart price action. So that's what I'm looking for. Let me just take that off because I don't want to confuse myself too much. Okay, so moving on to the Euro JPY. Okay, let me tell you another thing. This was another trade that I took. Remember last week I even predicted that area as well. When that pin bar formed, could you see that? Not the one right at the bottom, the one before that. I literally took that one as well. I did have a little bit of doubts. The body was a little bit, the nose was quite longer. It wasn't the best pin bar. It rejected it nicely in the key area. Body was bearish. And, I prefer it to be bullish normally. But when that formed, I thought best time to get in because it does look like it's at the key area. It's rejected it exactly on point. Put my stop loss. It was just like a few pips down below that. Straight away, before even it went up, it went a little bit up, it went down, and it kicked me out. But then the second day, I did see this, and I was actually on my mobile. I wasn't actually on the computer. I did text the group as well on my WhatsApp. That is a very good buy as well. If you guys could get in, get in. I believe few of them did get in as well, and they took their 1 to 2 nicely. Some of them are trailing the stop loss, and they're still in this as well. Depending on how high it's gonna go, we don't know yet. But when you look at the bigger picture, let me just try to zoom it out a bit. Definitely looking about there, at least to there. At least to that high. It kind of makes more sense. Let's just push it down towards there because I didn't see that. Just try to see, you got a few rejections there, false break there. Kind of makes sense. So at least towards there, you got another, like this, another 100 to 150 pips towards there. That pin bar continuation, but I really believe that that's going to keep going up. It's going to keep going up. I've not really seen that pullback before it goes up. Till we don't get some sort of a price action that wants to go down or rejection, we're still in buyers at the moment. It's safe to buy. Even in the weekly, that pin bar held, like I explained it last time, 50% of that, and it shot up. That was it there. I've taken the first pin bar, wasn't the best signal, but yeah, you are gonna fail. That's part of the game. It's all about controlling your emotions as well, and the greed. Even some people even get scared to pull the next trade as well. If you risk what you could afford to lose, then I don't think you got a problem. If you are getting that fear or the emotionally attached to each trade every time you're losing, then it shows that you're actually risking more than what you should be. You know what you shouldn't be. So that's part of the game. That was a good trade. What I want to do next is become buyers. So that sort of level, if I'm going to just, be honest, around that area. If price does pull back and gives me a price action buy, you could continue on with the trend, the high of those or those. But anywhere around that area, you could become buyers again in the 4-hour chart. So it's all down to you how you want to trade that, but that would be a good buy because at the moment it still looks like it's going to go up. So going on to the next chart, try to keep it quick now. GBP CAD, not really touch this. Dynamic pin bar continuation, it's going up at the moment. It's not showing me it's going to go. Actually, what I want to see is a deeper retracement down towards that key level there or in that zone before I want to be a buyer. If it carries on going up, then hopefully by next week I'll have my I'll analyze this and have a strategy changed according to the price movement. But at the moment, just look at the higher time frame. It's not really much to go. That's not the best pin bar, so I wouldn't say it's kind of a rejection. Let's see what it actually does. If it does pull back, then we could be buyers. Buyers at that zone for a quick 1 to 2 profit. But other than that, if you're more of a safer trader, just hold back, look at other prices as well. Try to avoid this if you could. It's not the best setup, to be honest with you. Moving on to GBP JPY, another awesome, just like the Euro JPY, came back towards that key area. One pin bar, body was quite big, but if you actually took this and you could trade it in 2 different ways. A break of a nose. If it breaks the nose of that pin bar, you put your stop loss 50%, and then your 1 to 2, yep, it's kind of reached there. Second one is you wait for the 50% retracement, which it did not happen. So when it comes to about the 50% around there, stop loss goes below, and then you aim for the high. It didn't pull back to the 50%, so those people who wait for 50% didn't come. Market entry was quite big, 205. If you've done a market entry and you're still in, hold it, because it does look like after a pullback it'll carry on going down. If you want to be on the safe side, you could look into break even and let that run. Let's see what happens. USD CAD, rejecting dynamic. It's not really made some sort of a price action. I really want to see a deeper retracement. It's definitely going up. I'm gonna see it come to this zone here before I start being a seller. It's just a more safer area. For more aggressive traders, I wouldn't risk this one for some reason because of the dynamic, the way the price is moving. It can sort of like give you another pin bar around this area, even around here. If I get a nice price action on the daily chart, then I'm definitely going to be sellers here, but I would like to see it come to the top here in that key area before I could start selling. Okay, moving on to the next chart. CHF, it's done a massive drop, and it's, for this week it carried on dropping down, made some new lows. If I look into the higher time frames, let me just zoom it in for you guys. I could see price going towards it. That monthly might just drop down, bring it back up, make some sort of a pin bar rejection. As you can see here, we don't know yet, but that's a long way down as well for the whole month. We might see go about 200 plus pips up here, about 180 here. It could go up, down. Let's see what it does. But I'm a sell on this sort of key level around here. If I zoom out a bit, kind of makes sense. If it goes back up nicely into this zone, especially the top side, as I can see a lot of rejection there, and then I see a price action sell, definitely getting a sell and aiming towards there as well. So that's what I'm waiting for here. Definitely a sell around that area there. Moving on to the Euro AUD, strong push up in the last 2-3 days, the last 2 days especially. Not really seen any rejection or turning around here yet. That pin bar showed that it wanted to go up, so definitely an uptrend. I've marked a level, key level around here, so I would like to see the price come back down and we'll be buyers back towards the top. Moving on to the next chart is the gold, XAU USD. At the moment, Let me just delete that quickly. I can see some sort of rejections there. Let me just look at the bigger time frame. It's reached the peak high. It can possibly pull back towards that area before it goes back up again. As you can see, it's not really done a good job there, but it's some sort of a key level there. For now, for aggressive traders, you could start looking for a sell signal around. I wouldn't go there, but that could be. No, you know what? The way that price moved and that rejected, I don't know how that's gonna come down. To be more on the safe side, just check what the price is. Got about 250. If you can sort of like see a pullback, then a sell signal. But I don't really see a nice triangle sort of strategy. If the price moves down and comes back into this zone, then we could look to sell just to that area there. But it's a bit of a risky one. I'd rather wait till it comes to that area and look for a buy, if that makes sense. It's more safer because I've got some sort of a key level here. I wouldn't sell. It's a near-term support. That's the key area around here. Let's see what price does. Probably going to update you in the middle of the week if something does occur. Okay, moving on to crude oil. I've got this sort of level here. If it pulls down, I want to be a buyer around this area if I see a price action going with the previous trend. Looking at the higher time frame, it does look like it could go way high. So it's all open. That trend changed there. So we've got a long way to go up. If we see a price action reversal at any key level around here or here, that could be possibly a pullback towards that level there or this level here before it goes back up again. But at the moment, it's continuing on going up. We just want to get back in at this sort of low level just with the trend. Moving on to S&P 500. Price is pushing back. That's my key area there. After analyzing it in the weekly chart, kind of makes more sense to me in dynamic. Rejection, price action, pin bar, mother bar, inside bar, like I've seen so many times. Back in with the buyers. Going to be the buyers around there. So that's the sort of area there. Let's look at the stock for China 50. I did have it around here, but if you look at the bigger time frame, it's just all the noise there. So it's not really a key level. That made more sense because of the monthly chart. That sort of high and low. I want it to come back down towards there, go back up, or this could be the possible reversal. But I do believe that it might even break it. It might break it because China's stocks is just. I believe that's the 50 stocks put together of China. Let's see how that does. I would trade with the actual previous trend. It could be very risky, but if the price shows you that it wants to go up, I don't see no reason why you shouldn't. Just like a pullback, you could buy, but you could sort of like catch a 1 to 2, 1 to 3. Let's see how that goes anyway. SPI 200. That's the sort of key area. It's kind of consolidating. It's showing some sort of rejection, dynamic and key. Not really showing me a nice pin bar, but that's showing me a pin bar going down. Let the price come back down again. If price rejects or shows it wants to go up around that area, that's a key level. You could be a buyer here as well. If it breaks that, then probably going down towards this area here. I see a lot of rejection around that sort of key level there. Let's see what happens. And let me just see if I've got, I think that's about it. Just seeing if I've done every single chart there is. I think that's it for now. Guys, if you are benefiting from it, please do write it down in the comment section below. If you want me to analyze any chart of your choice, do let me know as well. Like my videos, please. Subscribe to my channel. I do this every Sunday night, and I try my best to post it and have it live on Sunday nights when the markets are opened. That's UK time. So if you got any question, anything, you could also post it below. I'm gonna try my best to make a lot of training videos on how to trade Forex as well, so keep an eye on that as well. Hopefully I'll catch you this week, mid this week. If not, definitely next week. Guys, take care.